Week, what a week, what a week. All right, team, I'm in Nashville, hence the lovely background of a hotel room. But what a cool slideshow we got today. I share that because, again, I'm a nerd. I love stats. If you can see it, rates have actually gone up a little bit the last week or so. Call it week and a half-ish. And you see the little purple locks. That's when we've advised locking interest rates. Looks like we've been smart. And again, you would think, man, the Fed cut their interest rates. Things are supposed to be going lower. We had the run up. I mean, check it out since heck July, right? But especially in September, there was already this like telegraphing of interest rate cuts were coming. And so therefore the market already reacted ahead of those rates. I hope we can hold where we're at, but I want to point something out. This next one, here we go. You can see that rates a year ago, literally 1 year ago, were actually just a touch better than where they are today. So the reason why I make this point is folks back then a year ago thought, man, I'm going to wait for lower rates. I'm not going to refinance today. Even though it made financial sense, they decided to wait. They got greedy. I think I said this last week. Don't get greedy. If it makes sense to refinance, do it. We don't know if rates are going to go lower. We hope, we think, we believe they will, but it may be, heck, it may be another year and a half or 2 years before we see them come lower than where they are today. Time will tell. Certainly, the Fed is as expected to do more rate cuts, but how the market reacts to it determine there's a lot of variables at play. It's not just the Fed controlling rates. So that is today's theme is that the mortgage application stalls, right? It's only been a week, but still, total applications are only up like 0.6% week over week. But at the end of the day, now it's a great time to explore refinancing. Yes, it's self-serving because I'm a mortgage guy, but the reality is you should absolutely explore that and make sure you know what you have and what you got. But here, moving on to the purchase side, this was interesting to me. The summer of 2025, meaning the months that are right behind us, was the strongest buyer's market in over a decade. Why? They saw 500,000 more sellers in August than buyers. 500 more sellers, 506 if you want to get technical, and it's the widest gap since 2023. Buyers fell to 1.4 million. That's near record lows. So think about this. Population growth keeps going up and up and up. More and more people are here, more and more people get born, and yet the buyers fell to only 1.4 million. So yes, it is a buyer's market, and sellers still hold the power. Florida and Texas were just named as one of the two bigger buyer market states. If you're here, we know that. We feel it. Buyers and sellers are both retreating. So it's not just the number of sellers, or pardon me, buyers has gone down. Sellers have also come down. The blue line here, you can see that little sharp decline here in the last couple of months. Just less people are doing something. I mean, I don't know, summer, school, back in season, all that stuff. Some of that seasonality you can kind of see, and there's always that little dip, but it is amazing to see these charts at buyers versus sellers, 2 million sellers, and I think that's actually, call it 1.9, so just under two and 1.4, give or take. So it is a seller's market, and these are little dots that indicate where the buyer's markets are. The red ones are buyer's market. The Northeast, we've said it, there's nothing being sold up there. So it's still a seller's market because there's just no inventory whatsoever. But Texas and Florida, DFW, we got a dot for each one of them. Good for us. And you guys can kind of see the rest of the country where it is for just the buyer's market. So it is a good time to buy. If you know somebody out there, you should share this information with them. Sellers, they expect, this was weird to me. They only expect 18.5 in cost, $18,500 when they sell a home, but the average is $67,000. So I think that's the other part too, is get the messaging out to people buying a home. Share this stat that, hey, expectations, people just for whatever reason, I don't know where the 18 grand comes into play or where they think that came from, but it's $67,000 for the average expense to sell a home. And maybe that's just because closing costs, they account for apparently 8 grand of that. What is it, $21,000 for repairs, $28,000 in commissions. So it's 3 times more than they think. I just thought that was interesting that the sellers would expect such a low number when selling a home. It's expensive, man. It's expensive. Product of the week: government home loans for senior citizens, reverse mortgages, team. I don't think I realized this. Outside of Texas, and Texas is 62 years old, in many states it's 55 years old. So if you know somebody needs to refinance or reposition their home, somebody's 55 years or older, we crush it. We have a phenomenal team that does all that. My team does not. That's okay. We have a phenomenal department that does take care of folks. If you know somebody, let us know. The meme of the week, this feels a little mean. It wasn't meant to be, but you know, guess who didn't buy their first home in 2022 and has paid $90,000 in rent since that, right? So rent, the interest rate, people are like, rates are too high to buy. Look, rent is 100% interest rate. You don't get to keep anything. So I absolutely believe it. You should buy it. You can still buy. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The best time to buy a home today. If you get that joke, then good for you. Evidence of success, guys. Tamara, Joel, crushing it, getting mentioned. We appreciate them and thank you for the kind words. And then, as always, getting social. You know what to do. Share, subscribe, forward, all that fun stuff. I'll be in Nashville for today and tomorrow to get some stuff done for work. I appreciate you as always. Enjoy the day and have a great weekend.